A record of 6-5 as well. Here we go. Don Ebert and Jeff Cacciatore at midfield. They will kick it off going from left to right. Check it. It's Diego Pesa laying it for Carl Rose. And back on defense, helping out Carl is Fredrickson and Duran, the midfielder. Ball loose around the right wing boards, and there to pick it up is Mike Dowler. Things are always a little cloudy here for the first couple of minutes because of the fireworks opening they have. Here's Ebert right side trying to center it from Fredrickson. Knocked away, and back come the Stars. And there's Mike Dowler, St. Louis, a corner kick in the right side, Bob, and it was all set up on that nice run by John Bandovich.
Yeah, he showed me a lot on that. I'll tell you, moving full tilt like that. Let's watch Slobo on his acrobatic antics down here. Look at that. He deflects the first one. The ball, he can't hold it. It's about to go into the goal. He makes another dive and keeps it from crossing the line. Fantastic Slobo.
Now it'll be a right wing corner kick for Darrell Duran and company. He's got Ebert out there, as well as Bick, Pesa, and Makowski. Darrell looking inside, now looking outside. Pesa shooting. Ooh, he may have hit the crossbar, or may have hit the right upright anyway. He hit a rocket, and Dowler was beaten on the play, but he couldn't quite get it on goal. On the ensuing play, Ebert and Dowler got tangled up, but they shake hands. Mike Dowler, he'll never forget the game against the Steamers many years ago, when he was the guy knocked out of that game by a collision with Don Ebert. And the Steamers won that famous indoor game, probably the individual most famous game in MISL history. Everywhere we go, somebody still always asks me about that game, and I just wish I would have been at the arena to be part of it instead of just... Then the Steamers will be a man short for 2 minutes as Duran gets the gate for tripping, probably.
Yeah, I can agree with the call. Darrell came in with the foot up high. You can't show the bottom of your foot to a player that's playing the ball. It's a very dangerous play, but I don't think there was any intent to injure anybody there. I don't know if I agree with the 2-minute call, but it was a foul.
Power play coming up. We'll take a timeout. Scoreless first quarter from the Tacoma Dome. This is St. Louis Steamers soccer.
50% savings on pearls.
Famous Bar now has the entire stock of pearls in fine and antique jewelry on sale.
At incredible savings of 50% off.
Over $2 million worth of pearls.
Choose classic pearls.
In a variety of lengths.
Including bracelets, earrings,
rings, pendants, and necklaces.
50% off.
$2 million worth of pearls.
Available in fine and antique jewelry, now 50% off.
Just in time for Christmas gift giving.
For the best in famous gifts and famous values, look for our gift guide in most Sunday newspapers.
Darrell Duran got in a little bit late on Greg Blassingame a few seconds ago. Came in with the high foot and then got him with the shoulder into the boards. Blassingame goes, and thus the boarding call at 3:49. As Bick was stopped on the right side. With it is Blassingame. Man on the left, Black, and on goal. Right side, they score. Dale Mitchell on a great feed by Ralph Black. They beat the Steamers down the floor and lead 1-0.
Perfectly executed. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better execution than that. Blassingame brought the ball. Black, here we'll look at it coming up again. Blassingame brings it down. He feeds it to the overlapping Black. Black is expected to shoot, but he slides it across the mouth of the goal, and there he stands all alone. Yeah, perfectly well done. Oh, that's just like you put it on the drawing board, folks. Not a whole lot that Slobo could do about it either. He had to go to the initial danger, but indeed, Black knew exactly what he was doing.
Officials time out on the floor. Mitchell is 6th of the year. Black is 4th assist at 9:45. The Stars lead it, and this is St. Louis Steamers soccer.
You can save on the most wanted gifts. 50 to 60% off 14-karat gold jewelry. 25 to 40% off boys and girls sleepwear and robes. 25% off all men's sweaters. 25% off all Austin Manor dress shirts. 25% off all men's ties. Capture Christmas memories and save $300 with our own VHS camcorder for just $12.99.95. For the gifts they want most at the merriest prices. Hurry to the JCPenney store nearest you.
Putting it at his feet, top of the circle, left side for Fredrickson. Mark at his own red line, looking long for Bandovich running down the left wing boards. He's got it in the corner in front of Ralph Black, looking for someone to center it to. Centers it to himself across the top of the area, still has it. Anybody open? Left side, he tried to go to Duran, but a stop in front by Ralph Black, and that's the end of the first quarter. But what an exhibition of skill by John Bandovich. He tried to lay it off and just couldn't do it. So after 15 minutes of play, the game's only goal at the 9:45 mark, Dale Mitchell from Ralph Black, and the Stars in white lead the Steamers in blue by a score of 1-0. On Monday, December 23rd, the Comets are in town for Steamers Christmas card night. Everyone free gets a free Steamers Christmas card, courtesy of St. John's Mercy Medical Center. The card includes a color team photo, complete with autographs on the inside. So join us for the Steamers and the Kansas City Comets on Monday, December 23. And as if the guy down in the stands wasn't strange enough, and I'm not talking about Pat McBride, of course, I've got Bob Kehoe sitting up next to me here with a Santa Claus hat on. Of course, you were up in the air so long today, you probably feel like you circled the world and gave toys to everybody.
Just a little punchy, yeah.
Only goal of the first quarter against Pat McBride's team came in the 10th minute, Coach. A great play by the young man blasting game ahead to Black, who set up Dale Mitchell beautifully.
Really well done, yeah. You talk again about the teammate and running off of the ball and helping each other, and then Black, as we alluded to before, with that great vision, drawing Slobo out of the goal, slipping it across to Mitchell, who had the wide open goal to shoot at. So we said it before, and Tacoma keeps showing signs of being a very difficult team to beat here this evening.
Well, from Ron and Artie Sue and the Star Satellite Booster Club, they say they'll see you at the convention in Memphis. Now, isn't that something? Memphis doesn't have a team anymore, but their booster club is hosting the MISL Booster Club convention this year. At least it's a short trip for the folks from St. Louis.
Keeping their interest high. Maybe they're making a pitch to get a team back down there.
There's some pretty good Memphis players scattered around the league. A guy by the name of Stamenkovich. Another one named Stankovic. John Huska, who played some goal for the Steamers, played in Memphis for a while. Young man David Stride, who's with Baltimore now as well. St. Louis has a goal kick. Slobo with 6:03 left in the second quarter. Coach, I got to be honest, it hasn't been the most exciting game we've done all year. To block off somebody, they put it up high. Mikowski a volley. Ebert just couldn't tip it in. Duran for Ebert. It's in the net. It just snuck over the line as Darrell Duran did a great job of pulling it down. Ebert got enough of his boot on it, and Donnie gets number 8 on an assist by Duran. It's 1-1.
Oh, it was well done. Darrell Duran on the free kick there. We just talked about the set play. Nothing was on, so he lifted it over the top to Mikowski. Mikowski then saw Ebert on the far side, put the ball over there. Ebe sent it in. Just barely got across the line, but we really don't care. It doesn't have to go across there at 50 miles an hour, as long as it gets across that line. There goes to Duran. The ball went from Mikowski off the board to Duran. Duran to Ebert, and Ebert scores.
Now Tacoma back the other way. Off the glass high from a shot by Fran O'Brien. Left wing boards Pesa. And remember, Tacoma's playing with 5 fouls.
No doubt about it.
Here's Mikowski. Power play for St. Louis. Left side, Redmond Lane. Mikowski's the quarterback, and the right point is Pesa. Duran and Ebert in front. Steamers in the power play, 25%, 7 for 28. Right side, Niego ripping one across the goal mouth. Knocked down by Neil Megson, playing his first shift of the game. Top side for Mikowski. Target man. Duran goes left side for Redmond Lane. Red falls, gives it up to Blasingame. Mikowski stops him, though. Here's Duran. Steamers have a 4-on-3. Darrell for Ebert, fanning, but getting it back in the right wing corner. Donnie will go back to the point now to refire the attack and get things organized. Here's Pesa in the corner. Ebert across for Duran. Knocked away by Leonarduzzi. St. Louis kick in right side. 15 feet inside the red line. And now they're going to bring out Bandovich in the power play. Who will he replace? Maybe Greg Mikowski. It looks like Redmond Lane now. Well, now Mikowski's coming back out. Looks like Redmond's going to leave. They're going to put Mikowski on the left point, I would think, and put Bandovich on top because he has such good ball skills. And maybe Pat feels he can get some penetration and then lay the ball off to Pesa or Mikowski with those booming shots from the outside.
Well, it's interesting now. Well, Bandovic now is at last coming to the left side over here. At first, it looked like they were going to go in and play a double point. Bandovic on the left.
Well, now they're going to send him down near the circle, hoping he can get some penetration himself. Here's Mikowski, top of the slot. Right side, Niego. Pesa fakes his shot. Across for Mikowski. He tries to step it on goal and hits it wide off the glass. Ebert in the right wing corner, looking to center. Goes down courtesy of Megson. Ball loose and picked up by Mike Dowler with 10 seconds left in the first half. He throws it way up in the air. Heading it is Mikowski. Heading it now is David Norman for Tacoma. Stopping his man is Casey in the field. So the Steamers will be on the power play for a while coming up in the third quarter, but they failed to draw that 6th foul against Tacoma here in the second quarter. So after
But on the St. Louis Steamers, the job doesn't end when the players walk off the field.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
The Steamers' Ricky Davis and Jeff Cacciatore are having a good time with this young fan at Mary Queen of Peace Grade School in Webster Groves. But at the same time, they're also selling the game of indoor soccer to the hundreds of potential fans gathered at the school's gymnasium on this day. The same holds true for Redmond Lane and Slobo Lievsky, handing out awards to a gathering of young soccer players at St. John Bosco School in West County. You see, while the Steamers have a game plan on the field, they also have one off it. Specifically, it means getting out and meeting the public, selling the game of indoor soccer. Steamer fans rank among the best in the major indoor soccer league. Almost 2 million have come to the arena since the team first opened its doors in 1979. But when you're the new kid on the block, you have to keep doing things to get noticed. And in the Steamers' case, that means getting out into the community, making appearances, promoting not only goodwill, but also yourself and the game of indoor soccer. This club does that as well as any in professional sports.
If you put an applausometer, or whatever you guys call it, out on the field, it was the guys who were making the most appearances. They might not be the most talented, but the guys who were making the most appearances, the applausometer went up when they were introduced.
No kidding.
And now we're finding that as our introductions are done, there's starting to be a little bit more of an even keel in the applausometer because of the fact that all the guys are going out and meeting the public.
The Steamer appearance campaign is well organized. The team keeps track of where each player goes and how often. Each of the team's 22 players are asked to make 2 appearances a month. For the most part, they don't get paid a dime. Compensation comes from knowing you're helping someone and helping your sport.
It's important for us to get out in the community, and especially the hospitals and the people that really need to see us. You know, they don't see too many other people, so it's good for us to get out there, and it gives us a lot of satisfaction.
We're just like them. You know, we're nothing different or nothing special. We're just ordinary people like them. And I think that's important that when we do go to these appearances that we make them feel comfortable and make them realize, like, there's no differences, you know, and that we can sit and talk and have a good time.
You got to give back to the community what they give to you. They make us, you know, our money that we make. If they don't turn up, we don't have a product to put on the field. So you've got to go back and give to the community. And I think, you know, this club tries very hard to do that.
If I know I've done some good, it makes me feel really good. And especially maybe helping kids and talking to kids and things. And if I feel as if I've gotten through to them in some things, it makes me feel really good.
One small touch to the head or shake a hand, and that kind of stuff, they're gonna feel good all day. It's not just all day, probably for a month.
They're in the stands, or you see them on the streets or something, and they remember you, and they come, remember me last year? Yeah, I think I remember you, but it's amazing. I mean, it's something that stays with them, and that makes it worth. You know, your 1 hour, 2 hours is well worth it because they still remember you. They remember everything you did, everything you talked about. If you signed an autograph, they still have it, and that's the best part. I think kids are the main part of it, and if the kids like you and you get close with the kids, they're going to come out to the games, and both sides benefit. So it's something that has to be done, and I think we do it as well as any team in the league.
But let's remember what we're trying to do here. Jeff and I are working on our passing. The only difference between what we were doing by ourselves is that now we have somebody trying to take the ball, so we have to move a little bit. We have to get open for each other so we can go ahead and keep the passes going back and forth. Jason, this is your second chance, all right? This is it.
What the St. Louis Steamers are doing is simple, selling the game of indoor soccer to the community. But in the process, something else is taking place here. With each autograph, each hello, each handshake, the Steamers and their fans are developing a special bond. And in the process, both players and fans are becoming the best of friends.
Thank you for being a friend.
Okay, now let's go to Bob Carpenter and get an update on tonight's game. Bobby, the Steamers have not looked sharp offensively in the first half, yet they are still very much in this ball game. So maybe that can be taken as a good sign for what's to come in the second half for the guys from St. Louis.
Well, I think you might be right, Jim. And, you know, with the Steamers' defense, it's going to be very seldom that they're ever out of a ball game at halftime because they'll always stay close. Like you, we'd like to see a little more offense. We've seen some flashes of it, but just not enough on a consistent basis. Let's have a look at the 2 goals in the first half of play. The first one came from Dale Mitchell in the 10th minute of the ball game as Tacoma played a beautiful piece of one-touch soccer. There's the young man blasting game on the left side for Ralph Black. Slobo had him cut off, so he just found Mitchell on the right side, and the face couldn't get there to block it in time. And Tacoma took a 1-0 lead. Mitchell from Black at 9:45. That was the way the first quarter ended, with Tacoma out-shooting St. Louis 9-5. And then the only goal of the second quarter came from Don Ebert with help from Darrell Duran. Ebert, as you can see, just got enough of his boot on it. A typical Don Ebert goal, lurking in front, just getting it into the net after Darrell did a fine job of pulling down a high-bouncing ball in the corner and got it back across the goal mouth. So really, as usual, nothing to complain about from St. Louis in terms of offense. The only problem is generating enough defense, or rather offense, and then we hope that they can do that in the second half coming up. It's St. Louis and Tacoma 1-1, and coming up the third quarter kickoff of St. Louis Steamers soccer.
Okay, Mr. Carpenter, thank you as always for your insight and analysis. That's going to do it for Sports Break this evening. Now let's return to a lot more Steamers soccer action from Tacoma. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Duff.
Have been sharp here tonight. Slobo at one end and Mike Dowler at the other. Boy, catching a nice volley a few seconds ago.
Left-footed shot by Jeff Cacciatore. Little guy, he's got some power when he gets that ball where he wants it.
When you see that ball not spinning very much, when it's almost stationary in the air, you know that it's been hit awfully well. That ball will knuckle and dip on a keeper now and then, too, when it has that non-spin. Fredrickson off of a layoff by Ebert, shooting it wide. Freddie gets it back the other way. 30 seconds remaining. Slobo for Carl Rose. Remember, the Steamers have 5 fouls, so they don't want to give up possession here. Here's Rose. Up the right side, Arpesa. Diego holding it in midfield. On the boards for Ebert. Ebes ran into a truck called Stojanovic. Now Ray Evans, left wing. Dale Mitchell with Leonard Uzi to his left. 8 seconds left. He tries to center. Pesa knocks it away. Evans to the left point. Pesa on the boards, hounding it. Carl Rose knocks it away. Look out in front. Mitchell to the boards. Shoots it, but it was after the buzzer anyway, as the Steamers fend off that attack and also work the last couple of minutes with 5 fouls without getting number 6. Slobo has been magnificent in the nets tonight. Mike Dowler the same for Tacoma. With 15 minutes to go, it's still a 1-1 score. This on the left wing working hard. Leonard Uzi will get there first and whacks it up the right wing boards for Mitchell. Man open left wing, Ralph Black. He's got it. 1 touch and 2. And back from McGlynn, a shot score!
Impossible angle.
How did that shot get in the net? It looked like Slobo had the post covered, and it went right over him underneath the crossbar. Tacoma 2-1.
Almost an impossible angle. He was within feet, 3-4 feet of the end line, of the end board, and still got it in underneath the crossbar. But I will say this, that between Stojanovic and Mitchell and Black, they did some nice pass work there. Stojanovic, everybody thought he was going to hit that ball, and he didn't. He passed it off to Black, and Black fired it into the roof of the net. Just a fantastic angle. I can't believe the ball went in, but I'm sure Slobo can't either.
59 seconds, the time of the goal. Ralph Black, his third of the year. Gerard McGlynn, his first point as a Tacoma Star, and they lead it 2-1. 59 seconds of the fourth quarter. Here's Fredrickson. Down the left wing. We'll see what kind of tone that sets for the rest of the contest. Up the left wing, Dowler. Barday, or rather for Mark Peterson. Cacciatore on him. With help from Rose, takes it away. Redmond Lane in midfield, nobody there. Here's Blassingame at the right point. Down the board, shooting on goal, and Slobo up to get that one as he parried it over the glass. Corner kick left wing. So Tacoma couldn't beat Slobo low or side to side, but they found a way to beat him straight up over the top.
There again, you talk about reflexes and reaction time. That's amazing how these indoor keepers can stop those balls.
Corner kick. Ball comes across the goal mouth. It is wide to the right side where Preki picks it up to the corner. Fakes his shot. Now he goes back and hits it across the goal mouth to the other side. Slobo crumpled along the boards. I tell you, he's taken some lumps in this building. He was hurt here pretty seriously 2 years ago by Frank Barton, who got him in the back and caused him some kidney troubles. And Slobo took a pretty decent hit here as he was exposed, Bob, and McGlynn tried to stop himself. It was not a vicious foul at all.
Yeah, Slobo didn't have time to protect himself. The two players were too close together, and the collision was inevitable, and Slobo came out on the short end of that one.
So, Bill Jennings will check on the injury to the league's best goalkeeper, 2-1 Tacoma. We're in the last 5:19, and from the Tacoma Dome, this is St. Louis Steamers Soccer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Paulson chairs the great taste debate.
Everyone knows McDonald's is the #1 name in big, beefy burgers. But which McDonald's burger tastes best? Well, that's debatable. The Big Mac?
The unique eating experience.
McDLT?
The lettuce and tomato burger made the way it should be.
Or quarter pounder with cheese.
The Big Beef taste.
McDonald's is willing to put their money where your mouth is. Just to find out. Starting Monday at McDonald's.
Bill Jennings and Pat McBride checking on Slobo. They were looking at the area of his lower back, which is where he took the hit a couple of years ago, and obviously concerned about that area of his anatomy. Slobo's limping out. Nice little back heel a few minutes ago as Greg Mikowski came up to steal it away from Dale Mitchell, who, if not stopped there, may have been able to go in alone on Slobo and make this a 3-1 game. Well, Slobo's going to stay out there. Bob Keogh and yours truly speculating a little bit during the timeout that Pat may choose this time to go with the sixth attacker. As far as you're concerned, it's never too early, huh?
No, I'd do it right now. You know, when you look at the whole concept of the thing, what's the whole idea, not just on the road, but any game? The whole idea is to win the game. A lot of teams, you know, in the last part of the game, they pull that goalkeeper so they can produce that sixth attacker up front. Sure, you're vulnerable in the goal, but you're doing it for a reason, and that's to try to win the game. So why not do it right now to draw equal, and then leave him out there and try to win the game at the same time?
Well,
you have to have that. You just have to have it, especially at this level of the game. But, you know, even on down into the amateur ranks, you've got to have that ability to put everything behind you. That's past history. You know, is that redundant, past history? I think it is, isn't it?
Doesn't make any difference.
That's history. You know, if you're going to worry about last night's game, and my old analogy is, you're going to worry about last night's game or yesterday, last week's game, you may as well worry about World War II, because they're both in the past. There's not a thing you can do about it. Let's look forward to the game we've got to play. And that's what they've got to do down there right now. Their whole task tonight, right now, their whole world exists on, let's score the equalizer, and we'll go from there.
Mike Dowler, the man under pressure. Greg Mikowski is the sixth attacker with 4:08 remaining. Here we go. Mikowski in the yellow goalkeeper shirt. Steamers have everybody packed in. Lane right side for Duran. Diego on the left point for Redmond Lane. Back on top to Mikowski. Greg on the left point. Redmond, one touch, shooting it in. Low, Ebert, click on, just wide once and twice. Cleared, who's going to get it? Preki and Pesa, a couple of Yugoslavians battling in midfield. Preki comes away with it. Down the left wing, Mikowski retreating, the shot, he made the save. Boy, the face is a good athlete. He had to be quick to get down and get that one. And it's important that he didn't kick it out, but he grabbed it because he may have given up a rebound into the empty net had he just kicked that ball out. Here's the face. Right down the middle for Ebert. Downey couldn't flick it on. Left point, Redmond Lane. Shooting it across. Ebert, a shot save. Rebound, Villa in front. Loose ball. Lane knocks it in again to the corner. Blasting game looking to clear. Ebert keeps it in play. Redmond Lane a slide tackle. Right boards for Duran. They bank it off the boards. Villa to his left for Redmond Lane. 3:05 remaining. Steamers have been very close. Here's Greg Mikowski. Left point for Redmond. In the corner, Villa. Back to Lane. Ebert and Duran in front. Mikowski. Asa. Redmond Lane, left point. Trying to volley that ball down. Crosses it all the way over to Daryl Duran, right wing corner. Back to the point for Pesa. Tacoma, good job of defending here. Left point, Redmond Lane shooting across. Duran scores! He found Daryl Duran at the far post. He poked it home first time, and we're tied with 2:33 remaining. Duran from Lane with the sixth attacker.
Oh, and was it well done. They had Tacoma chasing the ball out in front, and Diego Pesa on the right side drew the defender towards him, sent it across the field all the way over to Redmond Lane. Redmond Lane saw Duran on the far post, slipped it over there all the way on the carpet. Duran made no mistake using the inside of the foot and just placing the ball into the roof of the net. And we're knotted up 1-1, and it was really a well-executed play.
For Daryl Duran, his third goal of the year. For Redmond Lane, his fifth assist of the year. It comes at 12:27, and it came a minute 35 into the sixth attacker situation. And, of course, Slobo is now back in goal. 2-2. Now we'll see what happens.
This is dangerous time now. Once you've been scored upon, right after you score, I should say, that's when you're vulnerable to being scored upon to yourself.
Here's Bandovich with a steal with help from Cacciatore. Catch down the right side for Bandovich. Top of the slot. Still with it. Still dribbling. To his right, shooting through traffic, and it almost snuck in. Blocked at the defense. They still can't clear. Bandovich in the corner on top. Trying to get a shot. Can he get one? Here's Fredrickson shooting. Oh, Freddie couldn't get under it. And it's into the crowd. Goal kick. Don Ebert was just about pulling his hair out, waiting for a pass, but Preki just couldn't get it in there. And Ebert swats him on the behind and says, "Good job, big guy, but you got to lay it off sometime."
Well,
Leonard Uzi back to get it. 10 seconds left now. One more rush for Tacoma. Here comes Joe Waters to the red line. Right wing boards. Peterson centers in front. Knocked away. Rebound goes high. And this one is going to overtime. Thank goodness. It looked like deja vu again in the last 10 or 5 seconds, even closer than that. Joe Waters couldn't get his rebound on goal, and he's upset with himself. And after 60 minutes of play, yes, sir, Bob McNabb, the tie's starting to feel a little tight up here, too. 2-2 the minutes. O'Brien tried to center it, knocked down by Lane. A shot in front. Oh, and Fredrickson saved the game. The ball snuck through. A toe poke by Andy Parkinson, number 6. And Mark Fredrickson got in front of it to maybe save the day for the Steamers.
And I want to tell you, we were fortunate there. Good thing that he couldn't get that ball under control quicker, or that ball would have been in. But Mark Fredrickson, very alert, very alive, very quick reacting. He saved the day for us, without a doubt.
Another one in front, this time cleared by Carl Rose. Leonard Uzi knocks it in there. Header! They score!
Unbelievable.
Slobo gambled and lost. And another head ball beats the Steamers.
Deja vu, you mentioned it before. We did it again. Only this one in overtime. The Wichita game nearly sent it into overtime, but here we saw the flick on, but it was a one-on-one situation between Dale Mitchell and Slobo lost. I guess it was a gamble that he had to take, without a doubt. Slobo could not afford to let that ball come down. He had to go after it. Mitchell just got there a little earlier than Slobo did, flicked it on, net spelled Denis.
Bob Leonarduzzi just simply popped it up from about 90 feet away. Slobo came out. Mitchell got up too quick for him, and the ball spun right into the net. And Tacoma has beaten the Steamers again. 3-2 in overtime, and the frustration, agony, and confusion on the road continues. Fredrickson fell down on the play. That's what really hurt, because that left Mitchell unmolested to go after Slobo, and he somehow got the header. Well, now they're saying Andy Parkinson got it. It was tough to tell. We are so far away from the field here. Evidently, Parkinson is the man who got the winner, but it makes no difference. 3-2 the final, and the Stars have done in the Steamers again.